Did a new update just make the PlayStation Portal one of the must-have gaming handhelds? The PlayStation Portal. Let's dive in and find out, shall we? I know, everyone is just waiting for the proper PlayStation handheld in what would be a successor to the PS Vita that is still loved by many. But, and sorry to be blunt, that ain't happening anytime soon. So what we have for now is this, the PlayStation Portal. And by now, you know what this is. It's been out since November 2023, and it's a remote play device that can only be used when connected to a PS5 via Wi-Fi, so you can play games installed on your console. All that is until very recently, when Sony released an update for this device, which makes it possible to use this as a standalone handheld without being connected to a PS5. That's right, for the first time, you can now stream select digital PS5 games directly from your own library or from the PS Plus game catalog. No downloads required. At launch, thousands of titles are supported, including big names like Astrobot, Borderlands 4, Fortnite, GTA 5, Cyberpunk 2077, God of War Ragnarok, Hogwarts Legacy, and The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. This means, theoretically, even if you haven't got a PS5, you could buy a Portal, buy games on the PlayStation Store, and then just play them via this handheld, or stream them from the PS Plus game catalog. One thing to note though is that you do need a PS Plus subscription to access any of these streaming features, even if all you want is to stream your own owned games. That's not great, but I'll touch on that later in the video. And I know you're going to be shouting at me in the comments. I know cloud streaming on this device was released in beta earlier this year, and although we did a video on it, we've taken a closer look at the full release version. And we're going to give you the lowdown on loading times, performance, and more, show you the full experience you get with the new console. And yes, I did say new console because this update pretty much makes this a completely new experience. Now let's jump in and I'll show you the interface as well as the gameplay experience itself. So let's dive into the new update on the PS Portal. We'll take a look at the brand new interface, show you some of the loading times for the games, and show you a bit of gameplay as well. So first of all, this is the new interface. You'll see the original interface where you connect to a PlayStation 5 here, but you just tab across and you've got a brand new cloud streaming with PlayStation Plus premium menu here, and you can see some of the recent games that I've checked out on there. But if you go to stream games in your library, you'll see all the games in your library that are able to be streamed. Not all of them will. There are hundreds, but for example, God of War Ragnarok is able to be streamed through cloud streaming, but God of War isn't. I'm not sure why. There are hundreds of games, as you'll see when we go to streaming games on PlayStation Plus. So this is all the games featuring on PlayStation Plus, the subscription service. As you can see, Lego Horizon Adventure, Soul Calibur 3, and Assassin's Creed Mirage all added very recently. Planet Coaster 2, Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto 5, Pacific Drive, a lot of games on, and of course, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. There's a lot of games to check out on the new PlayStation Portal cloud streaming service. Let's start off with God of War Ragnarok, and I'm just going to press X, and we're going to start loading into it through cloud streaming, and this is how long it takes to load. We'll just, and I'll also leave the speakers up as well so you can hear some of the gameplay as I'm playing. And there we go. We've loaded into the game. Just got to get through to the main menu. There you go, we're at the main menu. So I'm just going to press continue because I've already started a new save. So this is God of War Ragnarok on the PlayStation Portal. As I said, only 1080p. You do see a little bit of fuzziness every now and then when the streaming of the game is trying to catch up. But once it does, it looks great. And in terms of input delay for a game like this, you're not going to notice any sort of input delay. It's really nice and responsive. And if you click the PlayStation button, you can change the settings on here. So you've got game invitations, max resolution, we're on max resolution, and you can also change the brightness, but we are on the top brightness. So I'm just walking around, just going to show you. It's just a really nice playable experience. I mean, when I first started cloud streaming games a few years ago, you wouldn't have wanted to, but now it's just got so much better as a technology. And on a handheld gaming console like this, it just makes sense. Right, let's jump out into another game. I'm going to press the PlayStation button. We're going to quit this game and we're going to go into another game. We're going to go into Fortnite. So let's load into Fortnite, press X, and it's the same process, prepares your game. This one's taking a bit longer than God of War Ragnarok. Says it's starting soon, so guess we get to trust it. There we go. Now we're into Fortnite. and we'll find a server and we'll jump into a game, and I'll show you the experience of playing Fortnite online on a PlayStation Portal over cloud streaming. Do not judge my my combat skills. This is just to show you how the game plays on a PlayStation Portal. And there we go. So we dropped him. Right, let's get a weapon. Bit too far away. Let's get a bit closer. They're running. They're scared. There we go. Got a kill. If I can do that with my terrible skills, it's not too shabby. It is not too shabby at all. Let's dive into another game. Let's press the PlayStation logo button, close the game, and we'll jump into Cyberpunk 2077. Let's see how long this takes to load. Preparing your game. Hopefully the video editor puts a timer at the top here so we can tell how long, because God of War Ragnarok felt really quick. Fortnite felt a bit longer. Cyberpunk is getting close to Fortnite. It's not quite there yet. But this is the cloud streaming experience. You do have to wait for it, but there you go. Now we're in. Obviously, you have to wait, obviously, with cloud streaming, right? But if there's a big update for the game or anything like that, you don't have to wait, because it's always going to be updated to the latest version. So that's one of the pluses of cloud streaming. Let's jump into a game. So this is us at the start of the game. I mean, look at how this looks great. Where the cloud streaming sort of, you can see the textures, is in a scene like this. If you look at the red light, it's just a little bit fuzzy. And you can tell there's some artifacts in, and it's trying to load in some of the textures. That's something you will get with cloud streaming, but with I mean, if you look at the wall here as we're going up, it looks really super clean. It's a little bit inconsistent, but if you're the type of person that looks for things like this and you want a really clean, sharp, highest FPS experience, no matter the cost, this console is not for you. But if you want really easy gaming at an affordable price whenever you want over cloud streaming, and you're prepared to pay the monthly subscription, Portal is a really, really decent option. Now look, I think if you haven't used a cloud streaming device lately, you'll be surprised at just how good the technology has gotten, particularly with a device like this. I mean, with a stable internet connection, as you've seen, the performance is excellent. Yes, there's a little bit of input delay, and yes, the screen is only 1080p, but as I just showed you, games like God of War Ragnarok look absolutely superb, and it is a great experience. Obviously, it is cloud streaming. There are a few little glitches here and there depending on your internet connection, but even playing FPS titles like Fortnite, I honestly had a great time. It wasn't amazing, and certainly not the same as playing on a PS5 or a PC, but it's absolutely playable, which is very, very impressive. And when you put all of this together in a package with the ergonomics of this handheld, which are probably the best of any handheld out there, because it's essentially a DualSense controller with a screen slapped in the middle of it, this is now a really great handheld in its own right. It's got a lovely 8-inch 1080p 60 FPS LCD touchscreen, plus it's got the unique DualSense controller features such as haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. And it's also pretty light too. It's only a smidge more than the Switch 2. Plus the onboard audio is really, really good, and it has around 3 hours of battery life. As a package, and it might only be a streaming device, but its library of games, ease of use, and improved loading times make it a really compelling device, particularly considering its £199 or $199 price point, and it's actually been a fair bit lower than that in some of the recent sales. So now on to the negatives, and there are a few pretty big ones, unfortunately. The first being that you need a PS Plus subscription to stream any games, whether it's your library or from the PS Plus catalogue, which makes buying it standalone without a PS5 a little less compelling, as you're paying a one-off purchase fee plus the monthly subscription. I mean, it would be nice if the device's capability wasn't locked behind this paywall, but I guess streaming isn't free, and every cloud streaming service has some sort of subscription, so I can't go too hard on Sony for that one. But what I am going to be hard on them for is a complete lack of Bluetooth support. Bluetooth. In 2025. Come on, Sony. This means you can't connect any old Bluetooth headphones. Well, you can. You'll just need to buy a third-party 3.5mm Bluetooth adapter, which is not ideal. In fact, the device only natively supports Sony's Pulse line of headphones through PlayStation Link. You can also obviously use wired headphones if you want through the 3.5mm jack, but this lack of Bluetooth support is a bit of a downer. Overall then, if you've got a PS5 already and you've got PS Plus already, I'd highly recommend the PlayStation Portal, particularly after this update. The ability to stream games from your library or PS Plus without having it being connected to your PS5 is honestly a great experience. If you haven't got a PS5, it's still a really good device if you're interested in PS5 exclusive titles, but you will need to subscribe to PS Plus if you want it to work. Yeah, that's a bit of a downer. And look, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. When I started doing the testing and the playthrough for this review, I wasn't expecting to like the PlayStation Portal as much after the update, but even with an ROG Ally X and a Switch 2 within arm's reach, over the last few weeks, I found myself ignoring these and going straight for the PlayStation Portal just because of how seamless it is for a package. And honestly, I've got to say, fair play Sony, because what was once a very expensive PS5 add-on is now a pretty compelling standalone device. And that's it. Those are my thoughts on the PS Portal after the recent update. Do you own a Portal or are you looking to buy one? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any questions, ask away and I'll try and get back to every single one of you. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and get subscribed. It helps more than you think and you'll be kept up to date with all our really cool videos that we have coming up. See you in the next one. I'm gonna get back on my Portal.